Hello.
Hi, is this the Honey Bear Jake Heun?
Yep, this is.
All right, this is Steve Heun from MMA Mania.com. How are you doing this morning?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. It's early, but it's a good day, and it's great to be talking to you about this card coming up. I'm sure you've probably already been up in the gym even before I called you, though.
No, actually, luckily, since it's the last week, I'm getting a little extra sleep and everything. I'm actually just making coffee and my morning shake myself.
Oh, good. Well, yeah, you want to wind down a little bit before the fight and make sure that you're not overtraining and over-peaking for it. So, how are you feeling? How's the weight right now?
You know, weight's good. Actually, I just jumped on the scale and it was 212, so I'm light. I had every intention of going down to 85 for this next fight, and then when they finally decided they wanted to give me a fight, they told me it was at 205 again, so it's kind of nice to actually be able to eat a little bit more and not have to be such a lunatic about my weight, which is kind of nice.
I mean, it kind of fits with your nickname anyway to not be 185 or 170, because you picture a honey bear, you picture a guy that's probably at least light heavyweight.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like I'd have to change my name or something if I dropped down anymore, which would be kind of lame.
Yeah, it might be like Teddy Bear, and that just doesn't fit at all. So, how did you get that?
Yeah. So they did the skinny bear or something stupid like that, you know?
Exactly. How did you get that name in the first place?
Actually, I got it. I was in Vegas when Chris Lieben fought Vanderlei. That's who I came up under, and we were all sitting up in the room, and Chris had one of those, those bears of honey, like the containers that are shaped like bears.
Right.
And he kind of looked at it, and he goes, "This thing looks just like Jake. Jake's a honey bear," and it just kind of stuck from there.
Well, I'm glad I'm laughing, but it's kind of ironic that that's the story right now, because Chris Lieben's name has been in the news a lot of late, and not for the greatest of reasons. What are your thoughts about that whole situation? You know,
I don't know a lot about what's going on with it. I saw some stuff about him getting arrested recently, and I tried to call him the other day and I couldn't get a hold of him. I've read some stuff where it's people are saying it's something to do with domestic stuff, and Chris is a lot of things. I lived with the guy for a while. He's a lot of things, but I think he's not. He's not a guy who's gonna touch a woman. You know, that I know for a fact that that's not something that he would do. I've seen him around his now, I guess, ex-wife or whatever, and she was not an easy person to deal with by any means. And I know though for a fact that Chris isn't a woman beater. I'd be waiting for all the facts to come out before I jumped any.
Yeah, I'm waiting. Conclusion. Yeah, same here. I'm waiting for the facts to come out, and I'm hoping all the things that are being said right now are just gross exaggerations, because Chris Lieben's a guy I've talked to before. He's a likable guy. I don't want to think of him in that kind of light.
No, not at all. Yeah, and I'm the same way. It's like I said, Chris is a lot of things, but one thing that he is not, he's not a woman beater.
Yeah, well, we'll hope those allegations turn out to be false. But in the meantime, we'll stick to what's important right now, is the fact that you're fighting Davin Clark on August 1st at the Planet Hollywood Casino. So what are your thoughts on Clark as an opponent? What do you think of him?
I'm excited. Clark is, from what I've seen, it's been tough to find a lot on him, but King Mo and some of the other guys I know out here know him, and kind of I saw some of from his fight with Better Pro. I'm excited to fight a guy whose kind of skill set is on the feet. I was getting ready to fight Teddy Holder last time, and because of that, I focused a lot on, I was expecting just to keep it on the feet, and because Teddy's a banger, as you can see. I mean, the kid knocked out Thiago Silva.
Right.
Is no small task. Looking back at it. Yeah. Looking back at it, I really wish I would have gone ahead and just taken that fight, but my coaches, they didn't think it was a good move at the time, but, I gotta go hats off to Teddy on that, when you step up in scenarios like that, and the world is your oyster at that point. But that being said, I was preparing for one type of fight, and then I ended up fighting a kid in,
Clifford Starks.
And Clifford Starks, who is, he's just he's a good grappler, it's just not the fight that I was preparing for. That being said though, this is a mixed martial art, it's not kickboxing, not anything else. I should have handled business that night. But, I think with this upcoming fight that I've got, I think it's going to play well into my strengths, and I'm looking forward to being able to fight a guy who's going to stand in front of me, and I think it's going to be an exciting fight.
Yeah, well, there's two different notes I can go on with that, but the first one is, I'll mention that I actually saw Devin Clark at the Bellator 129 fight. I was there in Council Bluffs, and I know you say he's a stand-up fighter, and that's the kind of fight you'd like to have, but at the same time, it seemed to me from watching it cage side that Vedipo found the recipe was to just take him down over and over again, because Clark didn't want to be taken down, and once he got him on the ground, he was just able to beat the heck out of him.
Yeah, absolutely, and like I said, I watched the same fight, and at the end of the day, when it comes down to on this one, as much as I sit here and tell you that I want to go out there and put on an exciting fight and all that other happy horse shit that everybody always says, I'm looking for a win, man. And if it comes down to it, I got to be freaking Ben Askren in this fight and belly button hump the guy to death. I'll do it.
All right. Well, that's the other thing I was going to ask you about is because, as you already know, you got to change a fight on short notice at 19, and Clifford Starks was not the guy you were preparing for, and things went awry in that fight, not just in the fact that you didn't pick up the win that night, but it seemed there was an illegal knee and a 1-point deduction. What exactly happened there?
That was just a mental lapse on my part. I think if I'd have thrown 3 more uppercuts instead of throwing that knee, I probably would have ended the fight. But I was trying to throw the knee towards the body there, and I just misplaced it. There's really nothing more to that.
So just bad timing on it.
It was just bad timing. I don't ever want to be thought of as a dirty fighter, that I did that with any type of malice or anything, and I don't think anybody really thinks that of me. I'm not an asshole. I mean, I can be an asshole, but I'm not an asshole in that sense, you know what I mean?
Right. And you seemed very apologetic immediately after. Like, the moment it was stopped, it was like, oh shit, I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, there's at the end of the day, we are fighting, but it's still a sport. There needs to be a sense of decorum to it. We can't have guys out there fish hooking each other. I was watching the Mendez fight with what's the Irish kid?
Conor McGregor, the notorious
God,
Conor
I can't
McGregor.
believe I can't think of it right now.
Right.
Yeah, thank you. Haven't had my morning coffee yet. But in McGregor's one, he sells the fight, he talks a lot of shit and all this stuff, people give him a lot of crap. But I'll tell you what, in that fight, he wasn't the one who was digging his fingers into a cut.
No, yeah, I saw Mendez reaching in and grabbing for it. I'm like, is he purposefully trying to pull that open?
Yeah, they didn't call it or anything, so nothing happened. But at the end of the day, I recognize that. I fight. I know what's going on. So I think there's a certain level of decorum that needs to be kept in this stuff, because there's a very thin line that keeps this a sport. You know what I mean? And not
street fighting.
Not street fighting. You don't get John McCain telling us that we're human cockfighters and stuff.
Right, exactly. We've hopefully moved on from those days to a more civilized.
Right. Yeah, we need to move on. We need to keep that image out of the people's at the end of the day, the average fan is not the brightest person on earth, so you don't want to give them any reason to get on the internet and start saying stuff.
Right. Well, that's what the internet is for people to get on there and say stuff. But
people get on there and just run with their theories. I love it. Sometimes it's great.
Yeah, absolutely. But you've obviously not let any of that get to you. You've got a promising career going ahead, and if you put together a few wins in World Series fighting, who knows? Title shot could be on the line because it's way open in that promotion. Yeah, absolutely.
No, I was just say, the nice thing, what you were saying is with World Series, and I've kind of tried to make this clear to Ali and Ray Seppa, look, I at this point and where I'm at, I don't have any problem fighting at 85, 205, or heavyweight. In that promotion, I'll do all three. I'm kind of looking to be on a little bit of that Dan Henderson plan, a little bit, where if I got to fight, if they need somebody to come in and fight at 205, I'll do it. If they need somebody, if they give me a little bit more time, I'll take a fight at 85. Or if they need somebody to come in and, have a fight with Rhino or one of these guys that they can't find somebody to have a fight with, I got no problem fighting with heavyweight. All I do down here is fight with heavyweights in the gym. I'm fighting with Sean Jordan and Steve Mako and Derek Mayman and Bigfoot and all these guys. And I enjoy it a little bit. I used to fight at heavyweight. I wasn't too bad at it.
How is it training with guys like that? Because you just mentioned a series of killers with punches. I mean, that even just sparring, that's got to hurt.
Yeah, it pays me fast sometimes, that's for sure. It's hard to keep his face pretty. But, they're all great guys. Nobody's really trying to just decapitate each other in training as a general rule. some of the guys like, Duffy, he just does that. He does everything so precise and so crisp that, if he touches you or something, it tends to hurt a little bit. But other than that, it works out.
Can I say I was just absolutely shocked that Frank Mir beat Todd Duffy. I had Duffy in that fight all the way up till the fight took place.
I have no idea what occurred in that fight. Because, I just got done saying, Todd is so crisp and perfect in his technique and everything, and he must have got touched early because Todd's not a brawler like that.
No.
To go out like that.
No.
I was very surprised that was the outcome of that fight.
I didn't expect it to go like that. I didn't expect Frank Mir to be the one that landed that blow, but I'll tip my hat to him. No. He did land a great shot.
No, man, talk about timing and placement, man. That was a great shot. I mean, you can't take it away from Frank, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I'm sure Todd will bounce back from that. I mean, it was a main event. It was great. Even for a short fight, it was a really fun fight to watch. So they'll give him plenty of he'll get more opportunities.
Right, I mean, when you look like Todd Duffy does, the world's your oyster. You know what I mean? You could the kid's full of options. So I think Todd will be alright.
Well, I think you're both full of options and everything will be all right. So I'm not too worried about either one of you right now. But let me just give you a chance before we wrap it up today to throw out any plugs, anything you want to say about your opponent Clark before we go out of here, whatever you want.
Yeah. Well, first off, I got to thank my gym, an ATT out here in Coconut Creek. Like you were saying before, I mean, I train every day with just a murderer's row, whether it be at heavyweight, light heavyweight, or middleweight. It's ridiculous. I gotta thank my sponsors at On It and Alienware and those guys, keeping my body and everything good. And as far as the fight goes, I'm excited to fight. I got on the internet and I was talking a lot of trash about how I wanted to fight and World Series wasn't fighting me enough. And, they stepped up, they gave me a fight. It might not be at the amount of money that I was contracted at, but you know what? I mean, I'm excited to get a fight and, I think it's going to be an exciting fight between me and Davin. I mean, he comes out of another good gym, and I got to get one back against AKA anyway. My last time I fought AKA, I fought Mark Ellis, and that was an exciting fight that I probably should have won also. So I'm looking forward to getting one back against that gym.
All right. Well, you'll have your opportunity on Saturday, Planet Hollywood Casino, Las Vegas, Nevada, live on WSF.com. And hey, if it's a great, exciting fight, they may bonus it onto the NBC broadcast.
Who knows, man? We can only hope, right?
Absolutely. So we look forward to the fight on Saturday. Jake, thank you for the time so early in the morning. I know you hadn't had your coffee yet, but I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, brother. You have a good day.